Have you ever wondered how your brain processes words differently than faces? Why do some memories feel more vivid than others? Today, we're diving into neuroscience to explore how the brain responds when encoding and remembering different types of information. To delve into these questions, we formulated our own, which is as followed. How does the brain response differ when encoding and remembering word-word pairs versus face-word pairs? Understanding this question will help us learn how different brain regions specialize in verbal versus visual memory, which has implications for cognitive neuroscience, education, and even clinical applications, like memory disorders. To understand the development of this question, we must examine what is already known through previous research. First, we will examine a study done by Benita Rangarajan and several other authors. This examined 10 epilepsy patients with implanted intracranial electrodes, 5 in the left fusiform gyrus and 5 in the right. The goal was to compare the effects of electrical brain stimulation in each hemisphere and its relationship to face-selective neural responses. The findings confirmed that the right fusiform gyrus plays a dominant role in conscious face perception, while the left fusiform gyrus may have a supporting or different function. This reinforces past research showing right hemisphere dominance in face recognition. While both hemispheres respond to faces, only the right fusiform gyrus directly shapes our perception of facial identity. Secondly, Dave Clark and Anthony D. Wagner's research used fMRI to examine how the brain assembles and encodes phonological representations from visually present words, including familiar and novel ones. Participants performed a syllable decision task, and results showed that the left inferior prefrontal cortex and parietal regions were involved in phonological control, with stronger activation predicting better memory retention. This emphasizes the role of phonological working memory and cognitive control in language acquisition and education. Lastly, Peter Hagort and colleagues used EEG and fMRI to study how the brain processes word meaning and world knowledge in sentences. EEG showed the strongest N400 response for sour in the Dutch trains are sour, since it doesn't fit, while yellow had the weakest since Dutch trains are yellow. fMRI revealed that the left inferior prefrontal cortex, the LIPC, was more active for incorrect sentences, regardless of whether the error was semantic or factual, highlighting its role in integrating meaning and world knowledge within 400 milliseconds. With the understanding of what brain regions have been noticed in previous research, we will now examine ours to compare, and will now explain the pairs used in our study, starting with word-word pairs. When examining them, there is high activity in the left medial temporal lobe and left hippocampus, which are essential for forming semantic links and supporting linguistic memory associations. This suggests that verbal encoding primarily engages left hemisphere structures, which specialize in language processing and memory consolidation. Using fMRI scans for location, we will be showing the left hippocampus falling with the left fusiform gyrus. Moving on to face-word pairs. When examining these pairs, there is an increased activation in several locations. First, the right fusiform gyrus. It plays a key role in facial recognition functions. Then there's the right hippocampus, with its activation indicating its role in integrating visual inputs with verbal information for memory storage. And finally, there's the amygdala. This suggests that processing these pairs may involve emotional relevance, reinforcing the idea that faces carry more social and emotional significance than isolated words. It's important to note as well that since face-word pairs involve verbal and visual elements, it engages both hemispheres, requiring higher cognitive demand than word-word pairs. Like word-word pairs, we are using fMRI scans to understand the location of the significant brain regions. This time we are looking at the right hippocampus and then the right fusiform gyrus. There are 3 takeaways from our findings. The left hemisphere plays a dominant role in verbal information. The right hemisphere specializes in facial recognition and visual memory. And the amygdala suggests that faces carry an emotional significance that words alone do not. These findings have broad implications for education, healthcare, and AI. Understanding how the brain encodes information can enhance teaching, improve memory disorder treatments, and refine AI language processing. Key questions remain, though. How does emotion influence memory encoding? What role does attention play in verbal versus visual memory? Could these insights lead to better treatments for memory disorders? The questions we've asked today about emotion, attention, and memory are not just scientific pursuits, but also a key to unlocking human potential. And I leave you with our references. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.